Let's quickly bring in, because I know they're in a break now, Republican Congressman Biggs of Arizona joining us now. Boy, did this go the way you thought it was going to go? It was very contentious in this hearing with Peter Strzok.
Well, it went kind of the way I thought it would. The Democrats were very obstructionist. They were making legal objections instead of trying to get to the truth here. I mean, when they make objections about asked and answered and irrelevant, and when they grandstand like they did, I know that they're not really trying to adduce facts. They're really trying to sway public opinion. And I think we're trying to get to the facts. I hope both sides are trying to get to the facts and let the American people see what's going on here. But that didn't happen.
You know, we were just talking about, Catherine Herridge and I, about the advantage, if you will, that Lisa Page will have because she will have seen Peter Strzok. Are there points that you wish that you could have the two of them sitting side by side? Is there fact-checking that you feel is necessary after what we've heard so far in this hearing?
Well, I really don't want them side by side, but I'm really upset that Lisa Page didn't show up yesterday because this is exactly what I thought would happen. She's able now to take notes. She's going to show up tomorrow. She will have been able to watch this hearing today. She will be able to take notes, adjust testimony, quite frankly, to correspond so they're not contradicting each other. And that's never a good thing when you have two witnesses that actually potentially could be testifying against each other and at odds with each other.
Can we talk, Congressman, about the kind of power that Peter Strzok apparently had at the FBI? I mean, you know, sometimes when people get in trouble, they like to play small. But he was a big fish, because when you look at what he could do inside the Hillary Clinton investigation, is it not fair to say that he had a lot of power? He was the person who literally could type in the changes from the legal wording of gross negligence in terms of her investigation into having a top secret server while she was the head of the State Department, change those words to extremely careless, taking them down several rungs in terms of legality. He was able to do that. And then he told us today, I'm not an attorney, and I still did it because I thought that's what the attorneys would like to hear.
Yeah, and that gets to the credibility aspect, but you're certainly right. The Inspector General testified, it's in his report, that Peter Strzok was the lead investigator. He was essentially, with Lisa Page, the gatekeepers of information between the actual investigators and the decision-making team. So he could actually filter the evidence going to them. That's on the Hillary Clinton investigation. He was the actual lead investigator on the Russian investigation. So the guy had lots of power. And so when he says today, oh man, there's all these other people, and you know, he is really trying to downplay his role, but he can't downplay the facts, because the facts are he was right there, and as you say, he had so much authority, he could actually change the culpable mental state from a criminally culpable mental state to a non-criminally culpable mental state. And that's a lot of power. It's a lot of power. You
know, I also want to hit the power point in all of this as well, because that exposed his former boss, James Comey, didn't it?
Yep.
I mean, it made things very complicated for the former FBI director.
Oh, absolutely. And so Mr. Comey, I mean, which is why he's under investigation as well, is because Mr. Comey kind of usurped what was going on with Loretta Lynch in the Attorney General's office. And he's usurping that power. You've got Peter Strzok, who's in there kind of directing the flow of information to Andy McCabe and other decision makers. And that's why Mr. Comey is actually under investigation right now.
What happens next in this whole process? So you'll have his testimony. You'll get something now from Lisa Page. And, you know, the American people were invoked in all of this as Peter Strzok tried to say, well, I said those words about stopping Trump from reaching the White House on behalf of the American people. So they're already in the conversation now. So what is the end game for the American people? Accountability. They're perched. They're ready to see something happen.
Yeah. First of all, let's talk about what a super patriot Mr. Strzok believes he was. I mean, this is the narcissistic mentality. But let's leave that aside. When we look at what's going to happen next, we're going to get all the facts and information from both of these individuals, and we're going to process those. And quite frankly, I would suspect if we find criminal activity going on here, we're going to have to refer that over to the Attorney General's office and see what Jeff Sessions and his team will do with that.
All right. We will be watching all of it, cover the news as it happens. Congressman Biggs of the great state of Arizona, we appreciate you stepping out of the hearing and talking with us before it was even in a break point.
Yeah. Thanks, Harris.